Finally, whatever is true, think about such things. Welcome to Truth Is, the podcast based on the blog, based on tidbits of truth that find their way filtering through the mind of Dewey Roth. That would be me, and this would be episode 198, Some Trust in Chariots. We've been close to a nuclear World War III more often than you would like to think. I've got some examples here from the book World Peace Through Law by James Taylor Ranney. Number 1. On the evening of October 25th, 1962, at the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, an Air Force sentry at a military base near Duluth, Minnesota, spotted someone climbing the base fence, shot at the figure, and sounded the sabotage alarm. As alarms at airfields all over the region were sounded, at Volk Field, Wisconsin, the wrong alarm, the one signaling nuclear war, the "P.S. we mean it, this is not a drill" alarm, went off, and pilots scrambled and headed down the runway, being stopped only at the last second by the post commander. The intruder was a bear. Example number 2. Also in the midst of the Cuban Missile Crisis, only 2 days later, October 27, 1962, on the same day that an American U-2 spy plane was shot down over Cuba. At this point, Soviet submarines were being subjected to depth charges to make them rise to the surface. We were unaware they had nuclear weapons aboard. Despite strict orders not to use their nuclear torpedoes, absent authorization from Moscow, the 3 Soviet officers aboard Foxtrot submarine B-59 had decided to use theirs if under attack, and unable to reach Moscow, but only if all 3 officers agreed. They were, in fact, unable to reach Moscow, and in the end, one officer, Vasily Alexandrovich Arkhipov, finally made the fateful decision not to start World War III. Example number 3. In 1983, U.S. NATO military maneuvers in Europe, called Able Archer 83, were interpreted for a time by the Soviets as the prelude to a, not-so-good, full-scale nuclear attack. And number 4. On January 25, 1995, technicians at the Allengrosk Early Warning Radar Facility detected an unidentified ballistic missile over Norway, which appeared to be heading for Russia. Because the missile was manufactured in the United States, its signature trail was therefore identified by Russian computers as hostile, and apparently fired from a U.S. submarine in the Arctic Sea, even though it was actually only a Norwegian research rocket researching the Northern Lights. President Yeltsin's nuclear briefcase was activated, and Russian missile submarines ordered to battle stations. Finally, with 3 minutes to spare, the missile was correctly identified. Happily for the human race, this incident took place at a time when Yeltsin was president, and not earlier or subsequent presidents. But this is the mere tip of the iceberg of close calls known to experts. There have been literally hundreds of false alerts of a nuclear attack in this country alone, triggered by such things as a flock of geese, the rising of the moon, the sun's reflection on a cloud, a strong solar storm, and space debris re-entering the atmosphere. And of course, there have been who knows how many similar or worse incidents in other countries. Truth is, if history teaches us anything, we should know by now that mankind is capable of horrific and horrifically short-sighted acts of aggression. Our hope for peaceful coexistence can't reside in the strength of our armaments to deter, or the openness of our hearts to live and let live. Psalm 20, verse 7. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. You can find the Truth Is blog by going to almostthetruth.com, where you can also find my contact information and learn about the humor blog Almost the Truth. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, like, share, and talk about Truth Is, please, and thank you. My name is Dewey Roth. God bless us, everyone. Truth is a production of Almost the Truth Communication Services.